I don't know that Kyle's just this genius who can do it all on his own. That's his reputation. He's like the Michael Jordan of coaches. Like, he doesn't need anything. He doesn't need any teammates. He can do it all by himself. Like, I don't know. I'm looking at his coaching record, and he's been in the league he's been a coordinator since 2008.
Yes.
And he's had an offense that ranked top 10 in points 4 times.
4 times.
And one was last year. So, I mean, he moves the ball, but essentially really hasn't had consistency as an offensive coach. So he needs all the help he can get from Bobby Turner, Steve Wilkes, that defense, that run game. He's not necessarily this, Bill Walsh.
No. I mean, and
I have to break that to Niner fans.
No, I mean, let's talk about it, but we can do it in a respectful way, right? We don't have to be, shock jocks.
Snarky.
Right. So here go the facts. Kyle Shanahan has been an OC for 4 teams. Out of those 4 teams, he's had a winning season with 3 of them. All right.
Yeah.
He had 2 500 seasons and a winning season with the Texans. He had 3 losing seasons and a winning season with the Skins. He had a losing season with the Browns that he didn't finish. And he had a 500 season and a winning season with the Falcons. All right. Mm-hmm. That was the Falcons year was the Super Bowl year. Right. So if you want to look at it from the 2012 season that they went 10-6, this is just numbers. Okay. From the 2012 season that they went 10-6 all the way up until the 2016 year of the Super Bowl, those were the only 2 winning seasons as an offensive coordinator that Kyle Shanahan had. Mm-hmm. So in between that time, there was this narrative of Kyle being an offensive genius that just came out of nowhere, right?
Right.
So what we're seeing now is this is Kyle's 7th year, and through that time, he's still trying to find his trigger man. So he's done a great job at putting together the defense and the team. But
can I stop you real quick? Because you made a point that I want to comment on. The Kyle became a genius overnight thing. Yeah, it happened in 2016. In 2015, no one thought Kyle Shanahan was a genius at all. And what happened in 2016 was he had one of the best offenses of all time, like in terms of yards. And
it was
points.
1 year.
It was 1 year, and people were like, wow, if he could be that good, man. Like, all of a sudden, they rewrote history on his entire career. Like, oh, okay, well, he had excuse. He didn't have the quarter. He didn't have this. He didn't have that. But essentially, his reputation as like a top-level genius is still based on 1 year out of like 15. Literally 15.
They were, I mean, and if you think about it, this story was kind of in the queue. They were waiting to say this, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as it was almost kind of like, I feel like in certain ways they were waiting for Kyle to give them the excuse to bring this out, right? Mm-hmm. But if you go by the numbers, if you're looking at consistency of what it takes to actually be respected in your field, that ain't it. Okay?
No.
You went to the top of the mountain, and then we're not even going to talk about what happened in that game, right?
Right.
So you had that season and that game, but before that, the last season that you had any notoriety was the 2012 season where RG3 was a rookie. And even in that year, the then Washington Redskins were 3-6. They had to win 7 games in a row and completely change that all.
Man, I lost the coach.
No, I'm here.
Yo, I just had an epiphany. Man. You mentioned what Kyle Shanahan did in the biggest game of his life, losing. It's interesting. People don't talk about it, but what did he do the week before he coached that game? See, I don't think you're gonna think of it, but it's right there. What did he do the week before? He interviewed with the 49ers. He had the epiphany too, and he left. Kyle Shanahan was interviewing. Okay, so Kyle Shanahan was interviewing for head coaching jobs. Go ahead. Kyle Shanahan was interviewing for head coaching jobs before that game.
Yeah,
and guess who else was interviewing for head coaching jobs this year before the Super Bowl? Jonathan Gannon. What happened to Jonathan Gannon in the Super Bowl? He freaking embarrassed himself and was completely unprepared and couldn't make an adjustment. I'm telling you, they got to change that. That's like a little bit of a tangent, but they got to change that, man. Those pre-playoff game interviews kill teams.
Yeah, they do. I mean, when you got to prepare that much, they're physical.
Did it help D'Amico when he got? Did it help D'Amico when the Philly put up 31 on him?
No,
I'm just
they
saying.
they say coaches say that it's not because they have to say that it's not going to take anything away, but it definitely takes a lot away from you. You're
What
only
else are you
one
supposed
person.
to say?
Yeah, you've got to lie
It's the
about it, but it
system.
definitely
You
does.
got to do it. You only get one opportunity, but it totally screws the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the NFL has to change that system. But so yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a big reason he missed.
So, but I will say just to circle back onto the Kyle's OC record.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for as much as Kyle puts his hands on this offense, I feel like this is just another conclusion into I cannot stress how much we need a designated coordinator. Like we really do. Because it just goes to show like even the coaching career that Kyle had as an OC, it's peppered. There's no consistency there. It's checkered.
Right.
And for us to think that he's going to be able to still be the OC that we all believe he is and be our head coach, that's tough sledding. And that's the only reason why I looked at that record. But
like he wasn't even like an elite offensive coordinator. That was his only job. Yeah.
Like if you there's a guy, Eric Bieniemy. If you just go by his record, like he should have been a head coach long ago. If you just look at winning seasons as an OC, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, even with Houston, not Houston, but even with Cleveland, most coaches, they will be a marked man if they exited a job that way. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Flave says, "Oh no, we got you, Flave." Vito, Lance is the GOAT, and next year's MVP Brock Blow. Oh, got you. Aloha Chief says, if Brock isn't injured, does Kittle invite him instead of Lance? Possible, but Brock is injured. That's the whole. Brock is. That's the whole thing, and we don't really know how bad it is. Flave says, heard Kyle told Kittle to trade a tight end you because Mike Shanahan. Oh, got that one too. Adam Paul says, I have a feeling Flav and George Kittle would be best buddies. I don't think George Kittle would want to hang out with Flav. No offense to Flav, but I don't think so. Funny Money says 2 words on Hood. That's so true. Well put. I don't have anything else to talk about. It was a quick one today. I just have nothing going on. But next week we'll have OTAs to talk about.
OTAs. That's going to be exciting.
To talk about. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll get to see. It won't just. So far, I've only seen the rookies, which is it's cool. And the second-year guys. Some second-year guys.
Trey, who are you excited to see? Let's do this. Who are you excited to see at OTAs? Who are you ready to see?
Debo. Moment of truth for Debo. Moment of truth for Debo. What do you look like, man?
Yeah,
apparently he's been working out hard. I want to see that.
I heard about that. I want to see Drake Jackson.
Oh, that's yup.
I want to see what Drake looks like coming back. Yeah. I want to see what Ambry looks like. We've been getting on him all season. He's had all.
And remember, there was that report last year. Not report, but he did charity. He went to Africa. He went to Somalia. He did great things. Mm-hmm. Were you lifting? I mean, were you lifting as much as Lenore? Because he lifted his butt off. So that's the question.
Yeah,
those are 3 guys right there.
Gray.
Ooh, Ty Davis Price.
Yeah,
Ty Davis Price.
I mean, TDP. Yeah. I got a horse in that race already. You know who my guy is.
TDP feels like a symptom of Bobby Turner being gone for 9 months.
Yeah. Bobby Turner was gone for 9 months, and the kids picked up TDP. And Bobby Turner came back and said, what did you do while I was gone? Go get Christian McCaffrey. They said, all right, Dad, we'll get Christian. Are you okay now? He said, yeah.
Fine. Yeah. I see. That's another reason I don't think Ty Davis Price going to make this team. Like, he was not Bobby Turner certified at all. And he's back. Turner's back.
And you ain't never felt bad until you get cursed out by an old person, because they don't curse. They just make you feel bad. Son,
that's true. Like,
don't got it.
I mean, I don't know that Jordan Mason was Bobby Turner certified, but he's good. I mean, he's proven himself. Ty Davis Price really struggled, and now you got Kalen Laburn, who's Bobby Turner certified. So
that's a Bobby Turner pick.
Yeah, so you're in trouble. You're in trouble, Ty. They might have to trade him.
Hey, man.
That's the way it goes. Sorry. Playing for the 49ers isn't cut out for everyone. But even if you're not ready for this challenge, there might be a spot elsewhere for you.
It's the league, and then there's the standard of what that organization brings to you. So every team isn't cut out the same.
Yeah, there's always the Las Vegas Raiders. Ask Jimmy.
Sure.
And
I mean, the Cardinals look good this time of year.
The Cardinals always start off good until Call of Duty comes out. And then, no, I can't put it on Call of Duty. We can't put it on Call of Duty. Like, Cliff Kingsbury is a legitimately horrible coach. He needs to own that. That was on you. He lost in college with Patrick Mahomes. That's an accomplishment. That's really the most impressive thing he's ever done.
I knew that Cliff Kingsbury was not the guy when I saw his house on HBO.
Yeah.
Too much. And when his house, I was like, what? This is not a football coach's home.
I want to say one more thing, and then I'm going to go. A lot of people like having alliterative names. Like, my cousin has a last name that starts with D, and he named two of his kids names that start with D, and it's cool to have, I think that's cool. If your last name starts with K, you might want to chill on that. Cliff Kingsbury, Clint Kubiak, Clay Kubiak. It's like, yo, but every time I meet someone, I'm like, what's your middle name? What's your middle name?
What's your middle name?
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know you didn't name yourself, but what's your middle name?